pretty early in the morning. It's about 7:55 on a very brisk Saturday late autumn morning. I'm up at Lakeside in the Dandenongs, up at Emerald really. They call it Lakeside. I'm walking from Emerald Lake over to Belgrave today. So I've come dressed for the occasion. It's 7 degrees and I've got shorts and a shirt on, but anyway, I'll be sweet. It's pretty misty and cold at the moment though, so we'll see how the day goes. It's going to be a long day. It's about 20 k's I think. Yeah, so this is Emerald Lake, very early on a Saturday morning. Best time to visit I think, when it's nice and quiet. So autumn in the Dandenongs, or the Dandenong Ranges, means a lot of the trees, a lot of the introduced trees change colour. It's a very pretty time to be up here. I'm not sure how it's going to come out in the fog, but no doubt I'll get some more shots further over towards Belgrave later. So this is a walk that I've done years ago. I think I first found this walk in Tyrone Thomas, one of Tyrone Thomas's old books back in the day. The advantage, it's a one-way walk, it's a long one-way walk, but the advantage is you can use Puffing Billy, which is this station here to access the walk from Belgrave. So park at Belgrave, catch Puffing Billy down here, and then wander back to your car in Belgrave. I'm a little bit early for that today. Sam's dropped me off this morning, but it's definitely make for a day out. It'd be a big day out though, because first train wouldn't get here till mid-morning. I wouldn't have thought. I haven't left the lake. I'm just leaving it now. So it's very nice down here this morning. By the time I checked out the railway station and some of the old buildings, it's yeah, it's taken a little while, but now I'll start the 20 k's I've got over to Belgrave. First thing is I'm going to climb up to Emerald, and then I'll drop down. I think it's the Dandenong Ranges track, which I'll follow for a fair while over to pretty much Callista, and then I'll kind of head up through Coles Ridge and drop down to Belgrave. So we'll see how it all goes. Should be a good day, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I might even be able to get a coffee somewhere. So we'll see how it goes. This is the, I guess this is the track I'm following. We shall see. Okay, so this is this was my track, the one that I thought. It's like a lot of introduced trees up here which add the colour, which I was mentioning before in autumn, which makes this place a great place to visit in autumn, I think. You can actually swim at that lake back down there in summer. I've left the lake now and I'm still climbing up towards Emerald. This walk is going to be one of those walks where I follow a series of tracks, not just one track. There's going to be a lot of zigging and zagging. I've been deposited in the main street of Emerald. A little cafe here open at the moment. There's a couple of cafes. It's very busy. And to be honest, I can't wait to get out of here. So I'm going to keep going and get down there, get out in the bush. So I'm leaving Emerald now. I've just dropped down Corny Street. Now I'm turning down Ferris Road, heading this way. The good news is, for a day they were predicting pretty crappy weather. The sun, the sky's looking fairly promising once this fog burns off. So I'm still making my way out of Emerald. I'm on Ferris Road still. There's a lot of tracks, a lot of roads out here, like quite suburban roads. If anyone wants to do this walk, it is written up in one of Tyrone Thomas's old books, or maybe many of his old books, I'm not sure. Or the other option is, and I've got no skin in the game here, but if you are on all trails, you can get onto my profile and download my map. Like I said, I've got no skin in the game. You know, I'm probably not your ordinary all trails user, but it is probably the easiest way to share maps online. So yeah, for this kind of walk where I'm kind of avoiding roads left, right and centre and tracks, it's handy. Anyway, onwards we go. It's getting good now, at least I'm through Emerald. Next town I get to, next decent sized place will probably be, I'm thinking Monbulk, but I could be wrong. We'll see how we go. It's been about 25 years since I walked this track. So I'm just passing by Avad picnic ground. Looks a little unloved. I'm on a road called Avad Road, funnily enough. I suspect a lot of the walking today is going to be a little bit like that picnic ground, a little bit overgrown and a little bit unloved. The Dandenong Ranges suffered some pretty bad storms a year or so ago. So I think the local councils have been pretty busy just reinstating power and roads and basic things rather than worrying about walking tracks. I suspect that's going to be the case, but we'll see how we go. So I've come up that Avad Road on the left there, and now after, I don't know, I've been walking for an hour or so, only taking photos and doing not much, I'm going to head bush. So this is the start where you really head into a walking track section. So this is the bit that I'm probably going to get wet feet, I reckon. I've got the trail runners and the dirty girl gators today, and they're not going to protect me in this wet grass. But anyway, I can live with that. It's only a day hike. It's only water. I'm not sure what the temperature is. It's possibly warmed up a couple of degrees since I set off. It's probably up around double figures now, close to 10 degrees, but it's not too bad for walking. So I've only been off the quiet roads for a couple of minutes. Already in typical Dandenong Ranges scenery. So I've crossed over Menzies Creek. Track now is getting a little bit more overgrown. I'm just checking for leeches. It's just going to be a matter of time. I think I'm going to have to break out the Bushmans today somehow. I hate using that shit. But I think it's going to be the lesser of the two evils today, unfortunately. Anyway, I'll keep going until I see my first leech, and then I'll do the deed, I suppose. How about some trail cam footage, eh? So I'm still following along beside Menzies Creek down there, pushing through ferns. Tell you what, if I have to push through scrub, this isn't bad scrub to push through. Should get a bit of a sweep going. How many leech bites do you reckon I'll get on this walk? I'm thinking 5. When I get home tonight, I'll do a count, but I reckon there'll be 5. Alright, the walk's gone a little feral, as it tends to do on some of my walks. I'm pushing through this stuff at the moment, so I'm basically soaked from the knees down. But anyway, we had about 15 mil of rain yesterday too, so obviously no one's been through this morning. But yeah, that's why they call it bushwalking. There has been some kind of track clearing going out here, but it's still pretty overgrown in spots. But you know, it's nice walking. It won't go on forever. Something better, something easier will come up sooner or later. So I've just crossed Menzies Creek. Again, good news is I keep breaking out of the wet forest. I get a few of these open patches where the sun's coming in, which kind of gives me a bit of a break from pushing through ferns. I was just talking to Sam. She's back at her home, probably 30 k's away. She says it's really cloudy down there, but up here it's a peach of a morning. Ooh, this ridge is slippery. Okay, so I'm still down on Menzies Creek. I've just come across this big old tree. The root system on that's fallen down. Must be 5 metres across. Nah, 4 metres across. It's a massive tree. It's a massive tree. I don't know how to get something. I don't want to take my pack off. And putting my hand on it isn't going to do much. How about my trekking poles? My trekking poles are probably 1.10 metre high. I can't even get it all in the photo. That's amazing, the size of that. Very shallow root system though, isn't it? When you look at it. So I've probably done 3 k's, pretty overgrown walking. Trails started to open up a little bit now. Probably shouldn't say that. That's probably a rookie error, because it'll probably become impenetrable jungle in a minute. But yeah, this is very nice and pleasant walking. My feet are wet, well, damp, but it's not too bad, to be honest with you. The cockies aren't very happy with me. Okay, so I've just crossed Emerald Monbulk Road. It's pretty busy. I'm leaving Menzies Creek here, and now I'm following, I think it's Monbulk Creek, up pretty well for the next hour or so. One thing about this walk is if you hear traffic, I'm kind of walking corridors, and the roads tend to follow the creekside corridors, so I'm never far. Quite often, most of the time I can't see the road. So once again the track has deteriorated a little bit. Not quite as bad as before, but I am pushing through a bit of scrub again now. But progress is being made, and this is going to be interesting with one hand. Oh, fuck. Too old. Yeah. progress is being made upstream. And you know, like I said before, these overgrown sections, this isn't too bad, it's not as bad as before, but these sections are a little bit rougher. They always morph into something a little bit easier after a while, so I don't tend to get too worried about them. A few of these shacks down beside the creeks, I think the local farmers use them for irrigation. You wouldn't think these creeks would be big enough to pull water out of. But I think at some stage, I don't think they use them anymore, but at some stage, oh, they might. The padlocks look new-ish. And there's the pipe. And there's the suction out of the creek. So yeah, they pump water out for irrigation. I'm still tracking along beside Sassafras Creek. Well, very close to Sassafras Creek now. Forest has opened up a little bit here. I'm not sure what these green grass, I'm betting they're weeds. I don't think they're natives. So I'm just crossing Rankins Road. My map that I created at home has a track going up that track there. There's a private property sign up there, so I'm going to stay close to the creek, which feels right anyway. But yeah, the map I only just created a map on all trails off their map, so sometimes they can be a bit dubious, but this looks like the correct route. All good. Sun's not in a very good spot for this one, but it's a nice bit of track by the look of it. There are some storm clouds up there. So I'm still trekking along beside Sassafras Creek. I'm getting close to Monbulk now. I'm up a little bit higher out of the creek now, so the tracks, I'm on a bench track now. It's probably, it's passing through some dry forest, so it's nowhere near as overgrown. When I mentioned before about the track wasn't as kind of storm damaged as I'd worried about, I was worried before I did this walk there was going to be trees down everywhere. So yeah, I haven't, luckily, touch wood, come across that many trees that I had to clamber over. There's been a few, but nothing to worry about. I'm not a big fan of clambering over under trees. You can see every now and then you come across, I don't know if you see the tape on that tree, where people have come through after the storms and it's been chainsawed since the storm and cleared it up. So all in all, I think the council and the Parks Vic people have been doing a pretty good job, really, because they were apparently, I wasn't up here, but from what I've heard, the storms were pretty horrendous. I know some of the communities went without power for weeks. So a few minutes ago I was on a nice clear dry forest or dry track. Now I'm back in a fairly overgrown, it's not too wet but it's a bit damp track. It's all good. I'm going to stop for a break soon. Haven't really stopped this morning for any length of time apart from to take photos. So I'm going to get to a picnic area in about another 15-20 minutes. It'll be time for lunch, I reckon. All right, time for some more trail cam footage. So far there's been plenty of evidence of the big storms, but the tracks have been remarkably clear, really. So this section of track had a fence at the start with kind of half blocking it, said it had been closed. The fence looked like it had been here for 3 or 4 years. And people have obviously been going around, but this is probably why they've closed it, because this bridge is out. Parks Vic have a habit of doing that for public liability reasons, I think. But I mean, you could wade through here to be ankle, no, maybe mid-shin deep at most. However, there is another option. There's a tree to shimmy across, which is what I'm going to do. However, I'm not going to film this because it'll be slippery, and knowing my luck, I'll drop my phone in the drink. All right, safely across. It was pretty easy to negotiate, really. Let's get on for that lunch stop I was mumbling about before. Starting to get hungry. Yeah, that's what I reckon too, mate. Okay, here's a little bit more. Trail porn. As you can see, I'm back down near the creek. And things have got a bit Jurassic again. All right, this doesn't look at all dodgy, does it? All right, I think I'll once again get rid of the camera. It looks sturdy enough still, but sloping, slippery wood. Yeah, I'm going to have to be a little bit careful. Just arrived at that picnic ground I've been talking about. It's got my Walker's Holy Grail. Well, it's got a couple of good things going for it. Actually, it's got picnic tables. So it's got a tap over there. I can refill my water bottles if I needed to. And I'm sure over there where the cars are, I think that might be a toilet. So this is not a bad spot to stop. Okay, just enjoyed lunch in the outskirts of Monbulk, actually at the aquatic centre. I didn't even recognise that place. I used to swim, when I was swimming competition when I was a kid, I used to swim there a bit. It's changed. I think it used to be an outdoor pool, now it's indoor. There's a flash gym. Very nice. Anyway, enough crap. I'm walking, I'm heading up to Callista now. So that'll be my afternoon smoko stop, all going well, and hopefully I find the local cafe. There's a couple of options normally. Something open and I'll grab a coffee. The day's clouded over a little bit, but still pretty good. Anyway, catch up with you soon. I'm thinking that's not native. Still following Callista Creek upstream. This section of track's pretty popular, so it's been very clear. So I'm not far from the Belgrave Monbulk Road along here. And there's a lot of these little picnic grounds to stop at, which is good if you want to have a picnic, I suppose. Okay, just after I mentioned before that I was on a more popular section that was very easy and clear, I went through one of the picnic areas and got to another track close gate, obviously because of this bridge. You can see on the path everyone's been coming through, so I'm not overly concerned. The main Monbulk Road's about 20 metres to my left, but this bridge will get me across, no worries. If you had to wade Sassafras Creek, I think it'd be just over ankle deep too, so it's not going to stop you. But obviously, public liability says don't go. Okay, ironically enough, I'm actually on an open section of track. This looks like about the dodgiest stuff I've had to cross so far. This bit here is okay, but that bit where we run out of scarf marks over there on the far side, that's going to be pretty slippery. Anyway, I'll ease my way across and I'll catch up with you later. Alright, it's getting a bit Jurassic again. Alright, I'm just arriving into the outskirts of Callista. This is probably the shittiest bit of the whole walk. I'm going to walk beside, I think it's Belgrave Monbulk Road for around, for a few hundred metres. It's not very far. And there is a bit of a shoulder to walk on, similar to what I'm walking on now. That's where those cars are. They're turning on up there. The one good thing is though, Callista's got a few cafes, so might be time for the first coffee of the day. We'll see how it all goes. Alright, I might keep videoing, so I'll just go over the crest so you can see what we're dealing with here. It's a very busy road. This is the main tourist road, or one of the main tourist roads in the Dandenong Ranges. This road that I'm going to join up. Trying to get run over. Having said that, very busy, there's no one on it. I might see if I can get a Devonshire tea at the tea rooms there. We'll see how crowded it is. I think I might sit outside. So yeah, this is downtown Callista, so there's a few choices here for food. Okay, afternoon smoko's finished. I'm now just making my up through Callista, a few more, another 5 minutes of walking through town. Then I'm going to pick up this Coles Ridge track and drop down into Belgrave. So I should be finished this walk by about 4, I guess. It's another hour and a half-ish. We'll see how we go. It's been a sensational day so far. They were predicting showers and grey skies, and I've had pretty much blue sky the whole day. So I'm heading out of Callista, around behind the primary school, about to drop into the picnic ground. I can't remember the name of it, it's the major one there. But yeah, interestingly, that might be the end of my good run with the weather maybe. It's looking a bit grey all of a sudden, especially I'm heading that way. Anyway, time will tell. I haven't got far to go, I reckon. If I pushed it, I could be there in about an hour and 15. even at my relaxed, leisurely feral pace, it'd probably only take an hour and a half, I guess. But that's the ugliest the skies have been all day. It's the Grant's Picnic Area is the name of this place, and it's always busy. It's an amazing place. So the trees here are pretty good, are pretty big. The mountain ash, and there's always a few birds flittering around, kookaburras and rosellas, that come down to eat from tourists, no doubt. Come down to eat their lunch. So I'm just left Grant's Picnic Area. Well, it's just up to my right. So I'm just doing a short, instead of walking up through the car park, I'm doing this Margaret Lester walk. It's quite a nice little walk, probably suitable for wheelchairs actually. So it just loops around and then picks up the car park. Probably 300 metres from the tea rooms. Yeah, the overhead conditions are now very, very grey. Anyway, I'm feeling good. Knocked off 20 Ks, well, about 18 something so far, and I'm feeling really good. So that's a good sign because I've got a lot of walking coming up. So I've left that kind of car park, Picnic Area of Grants. I'm on Coles Ridge track. I basically followed this track all the way down to Belgrave now, or the outskirts of Belgrave. I was up here a while ago walking Jack the Miner's Loop. This is a nice little, as you can see, there's a few people around. There's a nice little walk through here. I've pretty much been following creeks all day, but now I've kind of left Sassafras Creek and I've climbed up over through Callista obviously, and yeah, I'm dropping over the other side of the mountain down to Belgrave. So no more creek walking, but I got the big forest, the big mountain ash, which are pretty impressive through here, and a few ferns too. I'm just coming to Belgrave. I don't know if you can hear that noise, but that's Puffing Billy. If I'm lucky, I might be able to see it down here. You can hear it. There it is. One of the more famous tourist attractions in the Dandenong Ranges. We gotta get across there somehow. This could take a while. Maybe I should just jump on. So I'm back in Belgrave. Normally the go is you park over there behind all those signs, but it looks like they're redeveloping the car park. So there's other spots in Belgrave. Belgrave's just over the bridge here. There's good news and bad news. There's plenty of spots. However, the ones that are on time limit are up behind the shopping centre. And I don't know if you can see on top of that hill there. Up there. That's my ute. Up that hill. And that hill is a stinging the tail today. But anyway, that's Puffing Billy. That's where they kind of station Puffing Billy at night down there. Alright, next time I talk to you, I'll be walking off for the day. Just gotta get out the bloody hill. Okay, I'm back at the ute. I walked about just over 22 k's, I think it turned out today. It was a really nice walk actually. They were predicting showers and shitty weather today, and I had, just as I've got to Belgrave, I don't know, see out the window here, I've copped a bit of rain, but not even enough rain to pull on the wet weather gear, so that's good. This track is one that I haven't done for 25 years, I guess. It's one of Tyrone Thomas's old routes, pretty much. I kind of improvised in a few spots, added a bit here and there. It's a really good walk. It's just a one-way walk, so it's a bit of a pain in the ass in that respect, but you can use Puffing Billy to get to Lakeside, but it wouldn't drop you off there until mid-morning, I'm guessing. So in winter, you'd have to keep moving to get to Belgrave before dark. And at the moment, some of the tracks are a little bit overgrown. Some were closed by the look of it. It was a bit ambiguous in spots. There was a fence, but obviously people have been walking through because there was a pad. Kind of the fence was to the side, and people had walked past them. So, but there was a couple of bridges out, and parks are pretty gun-shy when it comes to infrastructure being down for public liability reasons. So yeah, make your own judgment there. There were other sections that were a bit overgrown. Earlier on, I was prattling on about leeches. Well, the leech count, I thought I'd pick up 4 or 5. I've got 0. So, well, unless I pull my shoes off and find one in my shoe or something. But yeah, so the leeches weren't as bad as I thought, but I was definitely pushing through wet scrub, particularly out near Emerald. It was pretty overgrown. This walk's also got, you're never far from a road, so you've always got the noise of traffic. Most of the times you can't see the road, but you can hear the traffic. And the other thing about it is, good or bad depending on how you look at it, is there's a lot of so because you're close to the road, you go through a few picnic areas, so there's toilets and barbecues and drinking water and picnic tables, which are always good, I reckon. And there's also a few cafes. There's Mombolk's only a short drop off the trail, off the route that I did, and I go right through Callista, and there's a multitude of choices in Callista, and they're all pretty good. And then when you get to Belgrave, there's and Emerald too. I forgot about Emerald. Emerald's got cafes. I mean, if you want to have something half an hour or so after leaving. So yeah, look, a good walk. One that showcases the Dandenong Ranges, some of the best things, some of the big mountain ash, little creeks and ferns. So yeah, consider it maybe one day. All right, take it easy.